Okay, this is my hair. I've been kind of off wanting to do videos or live streams in the last couple days. I just like, I lost the mojo to want to do it, and I'm like, why? I don't know. I'm just like, it's not that I don't want to do these anymore. It's just because it's fun. So sometimes make hair videos, but I guess it was the comments, and then I responded to this like deluge of comments with a video, and it was not worth the time to respond because okay, I get it. With hair videos, sometimes you'll get people that comment en masse, but then just like, oh boy, it was just a lot, and it kind of made me think, okay, I know like people comment a lot on hair videos, but then when they say something like, oh, well, I don't really like hair long hair, and I want you with a bob, it was like, what? You know, people that make the videos are real people, they're not robots, and it's like this person just thought they could come to my videos and do that, and they didn't have any, I don't know, like, I guess people think, oh, you put something out there, you can say whatever you want, but I didn't like it. I didn't think it was respectful, so I just stopped making videos for a bit, honestly. But I am doing a new video today with long hair oil treatment, I guess. And when I do a long hair oil treatment before I wash my hair, just because I kind of feel like putting a lot of oil in my hair before I wash it will just make it easier to wash and condition. I don't have a recipe. I just pour oil on my hands and comb out my hair. I'm not afraid of how much oil I'm using because I coconut oil up my hair constantly in between washing. Like, I'm not one of these people like, oh my gosh, I have to wash every bit of oil out of my hair. Like, it's hydrating to my hair. Why do I need to wash it out of my hair? You know? So yeah, I'm just doing another hair oil thing. So yeah, that was why I took a hiatus from the video thing for a while. Just comments. Yeah, I know you're supposed to be just like, oh, open to any kind of comment on a video, but it's like, I like making long hair videos, but I just don't always respond well to like people that use a video just to, I don't know, do whatever they want to do. Like, I thought about turning off the comments for a while, but I don't want to do that because some people know how to behave themselves. And so it's not that I turn off the comments, I would just delete. Thank you. In the future, delete the comments and maybe wonder like why you come to a long hair video if you really just want somebody to have a bob, like whatever, like it's interesting. But I still think long hair videos are fun to make, and I'm not gonna like completely stop making them. But I have been writing some other things on my other blogs if anybody checks out my links. I wrote a couple things over the weekend. I realized, like, I always used to be so good about editing a blog post, but, like, one time I just posted, like, this stream of consciousness blog post, and I was like, ooh, I didn't edit it. I should have edited it before I hit publish. But I was just in the mood, like, if I don't publish it, and when I do it, you know? Thank you. So, yeah. I love long hair. I think long hair is really pretty. And even though I wear my hair down, like, I always keep it in a braid, like, when I'm in public a lot. Except on Thursday, I did take my hair down, and he's like, wow, you have really nice hair. And I'm like, oh, thanks. So, like, even though I do have long hair sometimes, even when it's in a braid, people don't really realize, like, quite how long it is, which is interesting because even if it's in a braid, like, it looks long. but it's just more of a containment issue, like not wanting to put it up per se. Although I have to say this, I did before I shower one day just put my hair up with some hair clips, and it was kind of messy, but it was cute. And I didn't post it because I'm like, I don't know, like what it would look like. Maybe someday I will. And this is just a green skirt and a green tank top. It's like, it is a skirt, but it's like knee-length skirt. Like, okay, I always get so much flack for this, but I sleep in my clothes, and I know you're supposed to, because I'm gonna get ready to take a shower and go to work in a few minutes, but because it's really early here, like at 5:30 in the morning. But anyway, I didn't finish combing out my hair before I was supposed to get ready for work last night. Anyway, so yeah, what was I gonna say? I sometimes just sleep in my clothes, like, some people are like, you have to wear pajamas because you're gonna hurt your clothes if you sleep in them, but I don't see how, like, how are you gonna hurt your clothes if you sleep in them? I've never agreed with that. It's just the funniest thing, like, I don't always like to wear pajamas. Sometimes I just like to sleep in my clothes. And people are like, you're gonna hurt your clothes. How are you gonna hurt your clothes if you sleep in them? I'd really like to know, because your clothes go through the washing machine and they rotate and agitate. And if you're sleepy, unless like you're twirling around and doing acrobats, I don't see how you can hurt your clothes. I think this is just an interesting topic. Like, some people really love pajamas, but this is probably just a funny aside. I've never enjoyed wearing pajamas because when I wake up in the morning in them, sometimes I feel like all lethargic. I'm like, oh, like, I don't know what it is about pajamas. Like, I would almost just rather sleep in my clothes or like activewear and leggings because they're comfortable. Like, I feel like what I wear around the house is comfortable anyway. So like, I don't see how sleeping in my clothes is a problem. Like, some people are like very like they love pajamas. I'm like, really? I don't know. I don't want to get to that debate, whole clothes pajama thing. I guess people really like pajamas. I just have never been like always a fan. Like, I'll wear them sometimes, but just because people will be like, oh, why don't you wear pajamas? And like, yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. But whatever. I'm just not on team pajamas, I guess. Yeah, I don't think it's a problem. But the debate was, how this is even a debate, is some people think that if you sleep in your clothes, you're going to somehow damage them. But like I was saying, when you think about it this way, you put your clothes in the washing machine and they're agitating, how is that any different? Like, what are you doing when you're sleeping that somehow your clothes are going to... I just think it's kind of a funny debate. Like, it's just really... Maybe it's just because I know people, like, they have very stubborn ideas about how to do things. And I have my own ideas, and I'm like, okay, like, I never knew, because I think when most people, these things are not a big deal. Like, a lot of people sleep in their clothes. Like, this is very random, right? But some people I know, they're just like, oh my gosh, you have to wear pajamas. But then I'm the stubborn one, so I'm like, oh, I don't want to. And like, who cares? Like, really, how is this even a debate? It's pretty interesting. Really, I'm just like, okay, if that's a debate, I love this randomness that I present. Just these random thoughts. really good thing I feel like about oiling your hair before you wash it is it's so much easier to comb out post-wash, because if you just if you decide to wash your hair without combing it out first, just something I've learned from experience, the tangles are gonna be 100 times worse. They're gonna be more matted. I think you can sleep in like just nice jersey, cottony things. Like, okay, I'm not talking about sleeping in a business suit or an evening gown, but if it's just like clothes that are casual, I really don't. It's just, these are like kind of like nonsense debates. Like, but it's interesting, like the things that people are stubborn about. You know, I just kind of, or have deep opinions about. It could be things like that. Like, people are very invested. In the way that they do things, and if you do something slightly different. I just always found it kind of funny, like, it's presented that I'm stubborn if I do something my own way, but lately I've been thinking, no, that's not it. Maybe the person who thinks you're stubborn is stubborn too, because you don't, you know what I'm saying? It can go both ways, or it's just a lot of silliness is what it is. If you want to sleep in your clothes, just do it. Like, you're not hurting anybody. I'm just kind of talking as I go, because when I do these live streams, I really don't know what to say. Like, I'm combing my hair. I guess some people, like, I like to talk, but lately, this is one thing I've been noticing about me. Like, okay, I always used to love to talk a lot and have deep discussions with people, but, like, lately, it's not that I lost my confidence, per se, but, like, okay, on my other channel, or on my main channel, and sometimes on a channel with another friend, we do, like, these live streams where we interview people, but I've just felt like I became more self-conscious as of recently, like, where a few months ago, like, interviewing somebody on a live stream where it'd be a friend of somebody who's an author, and they'd be narrating something, and I've started to feel very, like, self-conscious, because this isn't my only channel, by the way. Like, sometimes I do live streams with my other friend, and I just started feeling like I'd be asking them questions about this book they're writing, and I do feel articulate, but just all of a sudden I started feeling like, oh, like, less articulate and a little bit more self-doubting about, like, wanting to do public speaking, and yeah, I just, like, that's kind of random too, but I think it's honestly good to admit these things, because, like, there's nothing wrong with saying, like, hey, I don't always feel super confident talking in public or even on a live stream. Like if it's just a live stream here, I don't care, this doesn't bother me, because I feel pretty comfortable on my own channel. But just, like, when it comes to interacting with other people, doing an interview on another live stream, just as of late, I'm just like, yeah, I know you can prepare and things like that, like, where you do a live stream, asking people questions, but I just started feeling like, ooh, like, I feel like I have a little bit of stage fright, and even, like, in some public speaking situations, I find myself saying less lately, because I'm like, I feel less, like, confident, like, just speaking publicly and expressing my opinions. I try to get to the root of this, because I like to think about things, and I think I know what it is. Like, I've been way too much of a people pleaser all my life, like, and we live in this era right now, politically, socially, where everybody's very divisive, right? And you're either right or wrong depending on your position. And whichever position you take, you're very adamant, you're very correct, you're very wrong. Like, it used to be considered not kosher to talk about politics all the time, right? Which, I don't know, maybe I talk more about politics now because of just, I studied history in college and I find it interesting. But, like, publicly now, it's just, now people are just kind of vilified if they don't talk about politics. But then this is where the problems arise. Like, maybe not internationally as much, but in America, this is a big problem where if you don't talk about politics and you don't take a certain position, even if you do take about politics, like, you're not considered a righteous person in a way. It's like politics have become the new religion. Things have been overly politicized. And I guess that's one thing that kind of made me hesitant to want to do public speaking, even among friends, when I do like a live stream where I'm just interviewing somebody who's an author or a narrator. Like, I just started feeling less confident because of this environment, because I'm kind of a sensitive person, but I realize I worry too much about what other people think. It has been a problem, like, for a few years. Like, so what I'm trying to do is worry less about what other people think. I think I'm brave in some ways, but I like to be honest and real. Like, okay, this is not on this channel. I'm talking about, like, when I do public speaking, kind of live streams on another channel with a friend. I just don't feel like super confident sometimes expressing my opinion on certain issues, just because in America right now, like, politically, I'm not a fan of Trump at all, but I'm not a fan of, like, the Democratic position either. And if you take that position, or if you, like, even if you just say for a minute, like, I have a different position politically, it's not acceptable. Like, it's kind of like politics have become the new religion. And then just how I've noticed that some people, it used to be considered polite to just take no political position, right? And people are vilified for that, or they're accused of having certain, like, political positions that they don't have just because they didn't. It's like, you can't, it's like people are, I'm not trying to say it's a witch hunt per se, but we just live in such a sensationalized culture right now, media-wise. Like, you kind of have to step back. Like, I'm not saying don't watch the news. Yes, you should read some news, but you need to scale back a bit and think for yourself, and maybe be less politically involved, in my opinion, in some areas. Like, you can talk with friends about it, but I cannot speak about the international scene, like how it is abroad. I just am talking, like, here in America right now. The political divisiveness is pretty steep. But people forget a lot of these politicians were friends a few years back, and when they run their campaigns, they become adversaries because they have their political brand to advertise. So I am political, but I also like to just keep in mind something that has evolved in my mind as I've aged, and I think you should keep in mind too, is that politicians are salesmen. They promote themselves, right? Okay? They promote their brand. And if your brand is about winning, you're not going to be like, hey, my adversary is a wonderful person. You're not going to be all peaceful and flowery about it. You're going to trump up the sensationalism, right? And we just live in a very sensationalist society. And the thing I was trying to talk to somebody about who was very pro-Democrat, and he was saying that the Democrats are just going to save the world, which is really interesting, okay? I became more of a libertarian because I don't like all these wars. Like, And a lot of people haven't for years, like all these wars that we go to. And to say that the Democrats are going to save the world, no, I feel like we need less war. Like, we've been saying this for years. I know, like, we can't get everybody on the same page about that, but I think a lot of people agree, and that's why I take more of a libertarian perspective on that. But you can't tell people that, because some people think that being a Democrat equals savior, angelic, good person, and that being a Trump supporter equals bad, misinformed, which honestly, like, I'm not a fan of Trump, but I don't want to spend my life, like, putting people in these two categories. Like, I just want to say, can't we look at politics as what it should be? Like, these people represent us. They're not, like, what define you. They're not what make you a good or bad person, who you vote for. Like, personally, I wouldn't want to, like, pronounce, like, I follow this politician and think he's the best. Like, I want some distance. Like, I don't want to treat them like a deity, which I think can happen on both sides. And I really don't agree with a lot of things, like, that politicians say. But on the same token, the hate, just driving your life by hate. Like, oh, if you're not this way, you hate everybody and you're not a good person. We don't ever talk about culture anymore. Like, in the news, do they ever talk about, like, oh, new technologies that they're creating to make life better, and things that are improving standard of living, or, like, the benefits of, like, the 23andMe test and things like that? There's all these good things that we never talk about, because they would detract from the sensationalism and keeping people on edge and selling a certain product, which is uncertainty. And that's what I finally got to the crux of the problem. They're selling us on uncertainty right now, because in order to keep people uncertain, you keep them invested in a certain brand. But when you start to question things a bit, and you're like, well, maybe we're not in such dire straits, and there's always been issues, and life is more stable than it was 100 years ago, it kind of makes you think a little bit more, right? Just don't follow any politician down the street. Don't go out of your way, like, to put down your political opposition. You know, like, what can you do to maybe just promote positivity again? Is watching, okay, and I do like pyramids to some degree. I don't watch the news because I don't have, like, television reception. I read news articles. I think that makes a big difference. Like, if you're not always just watching whatever news station it is that's telling you how to think this way. Like, I really still like the idea of cultural activities, of, like, going to a museum and learning about art, or learning about the history of different countries, and, like, things that are still timeless, and, like, talking about science and ingenuity and all the good things that are going on in the world, not just, like, so I do talk about politics sometimes, but my take on it is this. You can have whatever political position you want. It doesn't make you a good or bad person, okay? Unless you're saying bad things. Like, if you're saying really horrendous things, yeah, okay, that can be. But in general, I don't think most people are, like, defined by their political position, and don't treat it like the new religion. Because I know it seems like now that people are less religious than they used to be, they look for other things to define themselves by. And maybe just defining yourself by yourself and who you are, and caring about your friends is more important than being defined by, I'm the good one and they're the bad. You know, it's like the us versus them. And at the end of the day, the longer you're alive, and this will happen once you're over 30, like, the longer you follow politics, you'll start to see, well, no, because there's some people. This guy that I'm arguing with, he's in his 80s, is very diehard Democrat guy. He thinks anybody who didn't vote for Hillary as a Trump supporter. It's just, he's very narrow in his viewpoint. He thinks like the world's coming to an end. And I just don't feel that way. Like, I feel like whatever happened to positivity, right? So, be the positive change you want to see in the world, I guess. That's all I can suggest. Like, don't, like, follow the sensationalism of the news. So anyway, have a nice day.